Hello and welcome back to AEC Today Reports. We're so happy that you joined us on this Thursday, and we're excited about the people we're going to talk to today. As always, we have some great innovative thinkers who are going to share about a special fundraising concert that they plan. We're also going to hear from some of our directors who are going to be sharing some exciting events that we want you to be a part of coming up this weekend. And of course, as always, we got to do our part to make sure you're moving out there and staying healthy. So we'll hear from Faye again. So make sure you stay tuned for the whole episode, and we'll be right back after this message. All right, everybody, we're back. We're so glad you stayed tuned into AEC Today Reports. And we're really excited because we always love to share stories of our churches doing innovative ministry. And I just want to invite two very special guests on here today. And as you can see, we have Brother Raynard Josephs and Horain Henry, and they're coming to us from My Metro Plainfield in New Jersey. So hello, gentlemen. How are you doing today?
Hi. Doing well. How's everything? Right. How are you?
Great, great. Now, I know a little bit about you because I had the opportunity to chat with you, but for our viewers, just give us a couple of sentences to help people understand who you are and where you come from and all that good stuff.
Okay.
Let the PR person go first.
You let the PR person go first? Sure, why not? Hi, my name is Raynard Josephs. I'm actually an elder and public relations leader at Metropolitan. Originally from the Caribbean, but I reside up here now, and I enjoy doing so much for the church. So here I am.
All right, great. Next, Horain.
Hi, everyone. My name is Horain Henry. I attend Metropolitan SDA Church in Plainfield, New Jersey, as well. I'm of Caribbean descent, Jamaican to be exact, as is Raynard. I just kind of help out on the media team at Metro, and just like to do innovative stuff. They call us crazy because Metro is kind of, I'd say, mischievous set of folks, mischievous in air quotes. But yeah, we just like to do innovative things and push the envelope a little bit. So glad to be here.
Yes, great. We're glad to have you. And that's really what got you here today. That's why we're talking to you guys, because you pushed the envelope, and we love that in ministry. So for those who don't know, this past weekend, these two were the masterminds, as we like to say, behind a wonderful concert, a fundraising concert, where they, several of our churches came together. So I don't know whose bright idea it was. I don't know who wants to take credit for the initial thought, but kind of just share, how did the thought of just doing this start? Where did it come from?
All right, so to even get to the text that started this all off, I'm going to back up a little bit.
Okay.
To start off with the mad scientist that is Horain, and our MD musical director, which is Pharrell Hutchinson. We were, everybody got struck with the pandemic, and we were all, locked in and had to worship and find different ways to worship. And once we started doing Zoom meetings and everything like that, Horain was like, "No, we can't do Zoom meetings. It was really short. It was, just maybe a collection of offering, our pastor preaching, and that was it." And Metro is known for its musical media and ministry. And so we decided to start kind of kick around different ideas. And then Pharrell came up with an idea of like, hey, let's just create virtual worship, praise and worship videos. And they were just amazing. And so we started kind of sprinkling them into our services, and, it started building and back up the whole worship experience that we had at Metro. And then one day the text came in from our first elder, Earl Thomas, and said, hey, I want to do a virtual concert, but not only with Metro, I want to pull other churches in. And then let's see if we can kind of add like some type of charity around it. And believe it or not, if Horain will correct me if I'm wrong, from the idea to execution, it was like 28
days.
28 days. We just kind of...
What? I don't think you should tell people that. 28 days?
Literally, it was a Sunday morning. I forget exactly when it was, but it was a Sunday morning at like 8 o'clock. I woke up to a text, and the text literally read, "Oh my gosh, if I could find it." I can't find it right now, but literally, it to paraphrase, it's like, I want to do this concert. This is what I want to do. And then I was like, all right, I guess we're doing it. So again, Reynard brought up Pharrell Hutchinson. Like he is like an amazing part of this team and very, very integral. Like he's my brother-in-law and he's the musical director.
Okay.
And like the amount of hours that this guy has put in to just like helping this all come together, it's just been nothing short of amazing. So we definitely can't take credit for it ourselves. But myself, Reynard, Earl, and Pharrell are kind of the ones who've just been bouncing ideas back and forth, and then once we figure out how the logistics side of it goes, because
How it looks.
yeah. Because
Yeah.
that's where the work is.
Yeah.
We kind of bring the rest of the team in, and
Record
everybody's
it.
just kind of like, "All right, let's do it." You
Yeah.
never really have anybody who's like, "Oh no,
No.
the idea is crazy," but they're like, "We're gonna do it."
Let's do it. And
Yes.
that's great. So what were your first steps? I mean, you had to reach out to the other churches and kind of delegate. We need you guys to put this together. Or how did that come about?
So one of the first things we kind of picked and discussed and kind of kicked around with ourselves was we realized that the amount of work that was going to take place with this, and to save the sanity of Harain and Pharrell, we kind of picked churches that we knew had some level of production in regards to music as well as video, and we just kind of leaned on them and said, hey, listen, if you want to be a part of this, we love you guys, but we really can't take on the work, but we're just asking if you can work alongside with us. So Montclair was excited to do it, and their groups showed up and showed out. Church of the Oranges had the production as well as the musical talent, and Salem, who was awesome. Sprinkling us with some Creole flavor, kind of came in, and they were able to do all of the video as well as the musical production that was needed.
Yeah. So one of the things that so I'm a big stickler for quality and excellence. So I put stipulations down. It's like we can't just put anything out there. So that was one of the big things. Pharrell and myself consulted with the other churches if they needed help, because some of them didn't quite understand the concept at first. Like literally, I got a call at like 10 o'clock one night from a friend of Church of the Oranges. They were actually in the studio, and they were like, "Yeah, what's this concert thing about? I thought we were just putting up our cell phone and recording." I was like, no, that's not what we're doing. So I had to go in detail and break it all down and explain to them, like, this is what I need, this is what the outcome should be, etc. Yes, I laid the stipulations down. Everybody kind of, I hate to use this term, but fell in line, because we had a vision as to what we wanted to achieve, and people had to match up to those expectations. I know it may sound crass.
No,
but again, you're putting a product out to people, and that's what a lot of folks don't understand. Is like, it's ministry, it's great, it's all of that, but you still have to present. You're presenting a product, So at the end of the day, that's really what we aim to go for. Is like, we have to put a presentable product out.
I agree, and you're representing Christ in all of this. You don't want to put shoddy work out there. And also, as you were listing the churches, like, wow, there's 4 churches that were involved. And let's talk about our headliner, if you will. How are you guys able to
well, so before we get to the headliner, we pulled in, so one of my other brother-in-laws, he lives in Florida. He's a musician for Eden Music. So they were one of the they started off the concert, and we pulled their leader in from Florida to do an interview, and it was something for me that when I reflected on it, is like, this is the kind of collaboration and diversity that we wanted, because it was not only just a New Jersey thing. You see, we reached out to folks in Florida, and that also brought the Florida crowd, which I didn't expect it to get that far. So, it's all about tapping into your network, because again, what churches need to understand, and one of the things that we push is like, it doesn't matter who gets the credit. Like, let's just do something and collaborate with each other. So yeah, I had to plug them because
No, that was great, and they were great as well.
yeah,
Several other smaller groups.
And my girls from Traces as well.
Yes, Traces, and that's great. I love that. I love that you pulled all these pieces together, and it looked like a very cohesive virtual concert, which we don't see pulled off very well often. So, so yeah. So tell me about how Jonathan got involved.
Reynard, I'm kicking it back to you, bro.
Okay, so one of the things that happened was we wanted to do the virtual concert, and we were picking around ideas and the name. So I came up with a name, While I'm Waiting, based on the Travis Green song. And I love the concept and the theme within the songs where it says, while I'm waiting, I'm getting stronger. And that was one of the things that we wanted people to take from the concert, and to be encouraged. And so, we looked through, we started to reaching out to different artists. And what's funny is before we even started to reach out to the artists, we just started throwing out names that were just like big. We're like, let's just get this person, let's get that person. And so like Earl, myself, and Hooray were just kicking around different ideas and different artists. And we reached out to, we actually reached out to Travis Green. And when he got back to us, they said they loved the idea, but they gave us a price, and the price was way too high. And we said, let's just see who else is out there and who's willing to kind of be a part of this event that we were planning. And we started to reach out, and Hooray just said, let me just see what Jonathan McReynolds is doing. And he just shot his people the email, and they got back to us as fast as possible. And we started talking and dialoguing with them, and we gave them the idea and what we were trying to do, and they loved it and was like, yeah, we'll bring it to him and see what happens. And then Jonathan heard it and was like, yeah, I'm down. This sounds so fun. And so from there we kind of just started doing the legalese, the paperworks, and everything like that. But it was fun, kind of just checking in with his people. They just kept kind of like again, like 28 days out, 30 days out.
I'm impressed because how did you?
We were able to, we as soon as we picked the name of the concert, we just we reached out to everybody, and he just got back. He and his people got back to us as fast as possible. Was like, we love the concept, we love the idea. Let's see if we can run with this. And that's kind of where we were able to get him. And once we secured him, and mind you, this was like the first week of even coming up with ideas. So if we came up with the idea on a Sunday, by Friday we had him locked in.
Yeah, we just didn't tell anybody.
Yeah, we didn't tell anybody. So the very next week, that's when I started the whole marketing campaign and the rollout, and kind of slowly dripping out there that we had special guests coming and everything like that. And by the time it was, I think a week and a half,
a week before,
the Sunday right before we just dropped, Jonathan McReynolds was going to be there.
Yeah, I saw that. I think how you're scrolling on Facebook and you see a flyer. You're like, is this one of our churches is doing this?
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
I guess the situation with the crisis and artists not being able to tour and travel as much as possible, the likelihood of being able to maybe wrangle one.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
it's great.
And that was actually the thought behind us. Like they're locked in just like us, so might as well see who else is out there, who else we can get. And it was great actually. We got an opportunity to not only have Jonathan McReynolds, but couple other artists kind of reached out, and they were their people were offering them up as well. And so we just had to sit down actually and figure out which one we really wanted, and we went with Jonathan.
Okay, yeah, I thought that was a nice fit. I think he really fit the vibe of the whole concert.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the main thrust for the concert, which was to raise money for the Food Bank of New Jersey.
Yes.
I think that is one of the things that kind of drew people to the project.
So one of the things behind that was so in the Adventist Church, we have there's a red tape sometimes when churches come together and figuring out, who gets the offering, where does the money go, how do you account for this on the books? And we're like, you know what, we're not dealing with any of that. Let's just find a cause that is worthy, and that just direct everybody to them. So we just kept flooding like, hey, donate to the food bank, donate to the food bank. We don't care who the money came from, but like just donate to the food bank, because it doesn't matter to us that the concert that we put on donated funds directly to the food bank, because again, like, we didn't want to have to go through the red tape of figuring out which church is going to cut the check and send the money over. And like, honestly, we didn't care how much money got collected. Like, we're just doing this for a cause. And also, I was scrolling back through some of the comments because I had to go back and read them after the fact.
Hmm.
People were like, yeah, we've been locked in for 2-3 months, and just this concert gave them a feeling of hope. And that was one of the things that Reynard, when he came up with the theme, like we had a whole document written out. And one of the things he kept emphasizing was like, hey, we want to give people encouragement during this time because it's been crazy. Like
Yeah.
the whole quarantine and being locked inside, you can't go anywhere. You can't really fellowship with the people that you're used to. It's taken a mental toll on people. So that's one of the things also that on top of the food bank, we wanted to give people a message of hope and
Yeah.
encouragement.
Yeah.
And one of the things that drew us to the food bank was we know that a lot of people have been hit hard, especially in New Jersey. Individuals have been laid off, and they really can't put food on the table.
Yeah.
So what we looked at was how do we, still be the arms and the legs of the church, even though we physically can't go around and do our food banks and our food distribution that churches typically would do. And we wanted to pick something that wasn't going to be North Jersey, Central Jersey, South. We just wanted to help New Jersey. And that's where the food bank idea came from, to help people actually keep food on their table and keep going. And so that was one of the things that we wanted to have a big push to let people know that, hey, this is the way that you still serve, and this is the way that we are still going to be Christians in somebody's life by just being there and giving what we can.
I love that. I think that's great. And I know Church of the Oranges partners with the New Jersey Food Bank for their distribution. So I like it when it's a nice give and take. We're helping each other. And I like that our churches can be seen as doing something for instead of always receiving. Even though we give it out, we still we gotta keep it growing. So we appreciate those efforts. Now let's talk about some of the feedback you received. You mentioned how you were kind of reading some of the comments and how people were being impacted. What are some of the other responses that kind of stood out to you guys, maybe came unexpectedly?
So one of the things for me, and Harain probably laughed at me when I said this, was I said my goal was, as a marketer, I'm always about numbers. I said, for me, I would be happy with 1,000 people. 1,000 people. If 1,000 people watched it, I'm good. And the cherry on top will be whatever comes after that. So currently right now, we're up to probably around between YouTube and Facebook, we're approaching 20,000 views.
Woo! Wow.
So I'm 20 times blessed now. But a lot of people, and what's funny was when we first did the concert, it was obviously Eastern, it was Eastern focus. It was, it was 5 o'clock Eastern time.
Right.
And then once we released it, it started to get more notoriety, not only within the East Coast, but then start to spread for the people on the West Coast who were leaving church and getting home, and they kind of see the chatter on Facebook and like, what's my friends doing over here? And they started watching it, and they started kind of chiming in as well. And then people, in other countries were actually catching on, and Harain can speak to this more. It's funny to me because it went international, and people were just like chiming in, the Caribbean and other parts, and it spread wild. But a lot of people were like Harain said, we're saying the same thing, that it gave me hope. It uplifted me. People were saying like, I felt like I just watched a real broadcast. Like it wasn't something that somebody made in their bedroom. It was just like the actual thing that I felt that I turned on the television and watched. And that made us feel proud because, we really put a lot of work into this, and a lot of sleepless nights. But nonetheless, that people were able to just be blessed. And I always say this, it's easier to share a link sometimes than to share a track or share a flyer. And people were able to just take this link and send it to their friends and say, hey, you can't believe what he just did. Watch this. And that's what a lot of things that I saw, people were just sharing it left and right.
Yeah, I know. I shared it. Of course, I always share on the Allegheny East site, but I shared it to this new group, the SDA Express community or something, because I know it encompasses different, because I thought it was quality enough where, we need everybody to know about this. And I think a lot of people had that same thought, and that's kind of how it probably went international because of people sharing it with their network and whatnot.
Yeah, I was appalled at the numbers, because at our peak, we had 2,150, I think, thereabout live, like concurrently. And I was like, whoa, this is insane. And I was getting text messages from folks in Jamaica, French Guyana. A friend of mine actually sent me a voice. I played it for Reynard after the concert. she's Jamaican and lives in French Guiana because she teaches down there. And one of the things that stuck out to her was like, oh, she didn't know that New Jersey had such huge French or Haitian culture. And it's like, yeah, this is, we're pretty, there's a lot of Haitian folks around here, as well as she was just like, oh man, she wanted more Jonathan McReynolds. Everybody, I think, was like, well, it was too short. Could we have more? But again, that's how these things work. You kind of have to keep it moving. And then I woke up to a text from a friend of mine the next morning in London. He's like, dude, like I watched the concert and it was great. So I, personally, I didn't think it would have gotten that far. Because again, it was just like a crazy idea on a Sunday morning. We woke up to a text. It was like, hey, let's do this thing. And then to see the actual product go out. One of the other things that I was getting feedback on is like, hey, why didn't you, there was one part where we had a couple glitches, where, and I'll give you a little bit of the story, during the interview. And people were like, hey, you should have edited that. I was like, I don't think you guys understand that, like, this is live. Like live. So, the videos obviously were pre-produced, but everything that was packaged around that was very live. Jonathan McReynolds was live. Pastor Pierre preaching was live. All the interviews were live. So,
I like that element of it. I thought it made it more realistic in terms of how we're living life right now.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah. But for me, the story I took from this is no matter what, keep focused, because here I am sitting here hearing Harain in my ear, giving me instructions and directions of what to do during the concert. But at the same time, I have to kind of still keep going, still talking, and let people know. And so that's one of the things that I took from that, is that no matter what, everything's going crazy around you, just got to stay focused.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the reason it was so successful, and this is just me saying it, because how it started out and your intent. I think when you go into a ministry like this one, where your goal is to inspire others and uplift others, and not just stop there, but also have this element of excellence that you mix in with it. I mean, it's contagious. People want that kind of ministry right now. And listen, we've all attended the Zoom church services where it's trying to sing and the music's coming in and out. Yeah. And but when we see music, we can hear it clearly and it looks good. I mean, it's, we're kind of hungry for that right now, and that's what you all produced. And I personally just want to thank you guys. I think it was excellent. I think it was, something that we hope you will do again, as we talked about. And even if you do it differently, I mean, I just think we need more of that in our church. Coming from our churches.
If the conference sees fit and they want to partner with us and we could bounce some ideas, I don't see why not.
Sure. All right, let's partner.
Yeah, absolutely. I like it.
We love that. I mean, I think it's worthy of that. And I just want to applaud you all. I know you said other people were involved. We want to applaud your whole team for coming together and producing something that was just for, like you said, the money didn't go to the church. It didn't go in your pockets. It went to help others. But beyond that, it inspired so many more who are watching from all over the world. So it's awesome. And we're looking forward to your next project. I mean, talking to you guys, I know that your minds are still churning and different ideas are still coming. Who knows, we may have a movie produced at the end of next month, since we know it only takes you 28 days. I won't forget that, but that's awesome. Any other closing remarks, anything else you want us to know about this whole project and how it came together?
Go ahead, Harain.
I'm drawing a blank. I'm leaving it up to you, man. You're the spokesperson. You're my spokesperson.
Of course. One of the things that I love about not only Metro, but just working with Harain, Pharrell, Earl, all these others, is that we there's no idea that's too big or too scary. And if you look long and hard enough, you'll find that you have resources at your fingertips. I looked around and I saw that there was churches that had the talent and was just sitting there with it. And all it just takes is a little bit of,
nudge,
a stirring of the pot, if you will, to kind of get the ideas percolated. And what people didn't think could be done can be done, and then done on such a level where it inspires so many. So what I'm going to recommend, and I hope people can take from this, is look around your church and see who's doing what. And, anything can become a ministry. Anything can be used to the glorification and lifting up of God. If you're willing to just kind of remove self at some point, for me personally, it's like I can't sing. And I know I can't sing, and I'm okay with not being able to sing because I have so many great people around me who can sing. And why not be the platform for them to sing? If we didn't give them the opportunity, a lot of people wouldn't know that there's so many, beautiful singers that we have within our own conference. So sometimes you may have to be the lead, and sometimes you may have to be the platform. But no matter what, do it to the glorification of God.
And one thing, just to piggyback off that, Reynard, I'm a very big proponent of treating your people right. So there are talented people in churches that are taken granted of, or taken advantage of. And I'd just like to implore church leadership, like, please, 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 please do not take advantage of your people. Please do not treat them like they're disposable, and please take care of them.
I love that.
Yeah.
So many people are probably saying amen right now.
I just need a break.
But you're right. You're absolutely right. And I think that's great advice. And once again, just want to applaud you guys for what you were able to produce. I definitely think it was God inspired. And I think it will continue. I mean, the thing about producing videos like this one is that people can continue to watch it over and over. And, the ministry, now you're done with all of that. You're done hosting. You're done pulling the pieces together. But the ministry lives on through this video. So praise God for that. Well, gentlemen, I guess I'll let you go now, and so you can start working on the next idea. We're really excited.
We actually have something in the works.
Okay.
We do.
Literally, as soon as the show ended, we were like, "Yep, we got something else that we need to think about." So
great, I love that. That's how it should be. We do one thing should inspire the next thing. I love it. I love it. But thank you all, and may God continue to bless you in your next project, and we hope to be able to report on that as well.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
God bless you. And please stay tuned. We'll be right back after this break.
The Bible tells us in 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14, "If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray, and seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven, and will forgive their sin, and will heal their land." If there were ever a time that we needed to come together in prayer, it is now. Therefore, our president, Elder Henry Fordham, is calling on you to join us as we band together in prayer. Pray corporately with us every day at 12 p.m., and in addition, 3 times a day. We believe that God will honor the faithfulness of His people as we band together in prayer. Please pray with us and watch God move.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for staying tuned into AEC Today Reports. And as I mentioned earlier, we have some great things coming up this weekend. And one of them is our virtual graduation. So we're going to invite to join us in conversation our Superintendent of Education, John Alberty. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you, Latasha.
Great, great. So yeah, we have something exciting coming up this weekend. I know we have been talking about it all along the way, and now it's finally coming up in just a few days, our virtual graduations. What can we look forward to this weekend, May 31st?
So I'm excited. First at 4:30, we have our kindergarten graduation. And for our kindergarten graduation, we have Pastor Richard Martin speaking. If you've not heard that brother speak, he is an awesome speaker. And as you know, celebrating kindergartners is just an awesome event anyway. So we have a great speaker, we have wonderful music, and we'll just have the opportunity to congratulate our students for their hard work, especially those kindergartners. They had to work really hard to continue their education via distance learning. And then for our 8th grade graduation, we have none other than Elder Fordham, our conference president. I'm very excited. His love for Christian education definitely will come out in his speech on Sunday. That program is at 6:30, and we have Pine Forge Choir that will be performing as well as part of the graduation program.
All right, sounds like a pretty good lineup. And the thing I love about it is we plan to incorporate some of our students. They'll be involved in the graduation, virtual graduation as well. Correct?
Correct. Well, yeah, you see less adults and more students. Those are the individuals that we want to highlight. The students will be the ones doing the welcome. They'll be giving the speeches. They will be giving the prayers. So, even if you do not have a child that's graduating, please come on to support our Allegheny East students who will be showcasing their talents via this program.
Yes, absolutely. I think it's going to be great. And just to remind everyone, and I'll put up the flyer for everyone to see, you can access this graduation, view it from our Facebook page, which is Facebook/IMAEC, as well as our YouTube channel, AEC Media Ministries. And of course, you can always find the link on our website, visit aec.org. So we're really hoping that you all will join us and support this graduation. And I understand, this is just for kindergarten and 8th grade, but we do have an update on the Pine Forge virtual graduation, Pine Forge Academy's graduation as well, correct? When is that date?
That will take place on June 7th. You can look on the website to find more information about what time it will take place, but it will take place June 7th, and we're really excited about that program as well.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much. And I'm so glad that our Office of Education saw fit to celebrate our graduates in this way. I know some of our schools are planning their own celebrations, but we wanted to, as a whole, be able to celebrate. So this is actually an opportunity we've never had before. Being able to see all of our schools kind of graduate together. So it's a blessing in disguise, I guess.
It is, and who knows? Even after things go back to normal, we may continue to do this so people across the conference can see our wonderful AEC graduates each year.
Exactly. Thank you so much. We appreciate what you're doing and your team, Mr. Alberti, and we'll be tuning in on Sunday.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Thank you. You too. And please stay tuned. We'll be right back to talk about another great activity that's happening on Sabbath. And we're back, and we thank you for staying tuned. We just learned about our graduation that's coming up on Sunday, May 31st. But before that, we have another special event that's being offered virtually, conference-wide, and we want to talk about that exciting event as well. And so we're going to bring on to our little show here our youth director, Pastor Patrick Graham. How are you doing?
Hey, everything's going fine. How are you doing over there?
Pretty good, pretty good. Keeping busy, keeping busy. So yeah, we're excited because we have a youth day, a virtual conference-wide youth day coming up. Tell us about it. What can we expect?
So we're doing a children's and youth day combined. And we're starting off like 10 o'clock in the morning. We just figured out there will be a good time where our children could come together, or the churches could choose people to come together and just make it one big event. A lot of them looking for a little bit of time. They've been running hard since COVID started. So we're just giving them like a little break and just having a worship service, Children's and Youth Day, starting at 10 o'clock a.m. And it's really going all the way to 8 o'clock at night. Have a few.
Wow.
At 8 o'clock.
Amazing. That's great. I think it'll be great for the kids to be able to see each other and interact kind of. Is that how it's going to work? Is it are the children watching something, or will they come together at some point and see one another?
Well, as far as Sabbath school is concerned, we did give a chance for everyone to come together and decide who they're going to pick to do Sabbath school. So I'm giving it away, but we're going to have about 2 or 3 welcomes because we don't want to, have anyone left out. But we're doing mission story, etc. So all that's going to be done, and then we're going to go into our Sabbath school, where it is going to be different Sabbath schools, 6 different Sabbath schools going on at the same time. So when you go to the website, it'll show you that. Then we'll come back for 11:15 worship hour, and we have a kid preaching, one of our children preaching, and some songs, just like a regular service coming through. And then you take a break from there. Then after you take your break from there, then we'll come back with the 3 o'clock is the children's Bible activities, the Bible lookup scavenger hunt. And then at the end, there's a time when we're going to have question and answering with our older, by 7 o'clock, our older young adults, I should say young adults, talking about COVID, etc. Where do we go from here?
Okay. Sounds good. I mean, I have to say that this is one Sabbath where we as parents don't have to wonder what our children can do all day. You guys have it all planned out for us. We appreciate that. That's great. That's great. It's good to see that. Now, of course, as you can see on the screen here, if you need more information or more details about how your child can be a part of it, they can just go to the website, www.aecycm.com, and get more information. Now, the scavenger hunt, people need to register for, correct?
Yeah, the scavenger hunt, the Bible lookup, and the See But Not Hear. That's another game that we will be playing with them. But it's going to be, we want people to get involved. So it's only going to be 25, and it's filling up really fast. So each category will be 25 kids. So you got to sign up as soon as possible. One of them look like it's going pretty quick.
Okay. I'm sorry, your volume was kind of going in and out a little bit there, but I think we heard you. You have to sign up, everyone. You have to sign up, and you'll see based on your age category where you need to go and what room you need to be a part of. So that this is great. And so just for those who have not seen the flyer, we want to make sure it's fierce.
There it goes.
So this is great. It's coming up this weekend. We hope all of our young people will be involved. And is this something where they can invite a friend?
Sure.
Okay. So
Allegheny East, right? And we want Allegheny East to be a part of it because now we have other conferences trying to be a part of it, which I don't have a problem with. But this is for Allegheny East, this is for our churches. Everyone else can watch, but we want to make sure our churches.
All right. Sounds great. And we appreciate you planning something like this for our young people, particularly during this time. And we like to thank the youth department for this. And everybody who's watching, please take part. Make sure your young people are involved. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing, and take care of yourself. You got a lot to do before Saturday hits us. So we'll keep you in prayer. Thanks for joining us, and please stay with us. We'll be right back after this short break. We thank you for staying tuned in to AEC Today Reports, and we're back with our fitness segment, and we're happy to have with us our fitness guru, none other than Ms. Faye Gregory. How are you doing today, Faye?
Wonderful, Latasha. It's great to be back. Hello, viewers.
Yeah, so, this lovely weather out here is making it very tempting to just be outside all day long. And I know that provides a great opportunity to be active. So what are some of the exercises that we can do outside?
Yes, Latasha, despite the COVID virus, with the weather being so beautiful, quite naturally, we're going to be drawn to the outdoors, and we want to stay active. We want to be active outdoors. There's so many fun things we can do outside besides walking. We can ride our bikes, we can play tennis, we can go swimming, hiking, badminton, baseball, and all of these activities we can do while social distancing, as well as playing golf.
Yes.
A little beach ball. We can grab a beach ball, which is very inexpensive, toss it around with our friends and family, or buy ourselves. We have a stability ball around. We can grab our stability ball, which I'm going to demonstrate a wonderful workout with.
Great.
So
I love that.
As well as gardening. I mean, digging and planting, that's also an activity that we can do outside.
Great. And the good thing about it is you're having so much fun, you don't even realize you're exercising.
Exactly, you're right.
Until your back aches the next day from the gardening. I've had that experience, but nevertheless, it was for a good reason. Now, you mentioned the stability ball, which I've always loved because it just reminds me of just my youthfulness and being able to sit on the little bouncy ball and bounce around. So what kind of exercises can you do with the stability ball? What does it help you do?
Okay. The stability ball helps you gain better posture, and it also helps to strengthen your core. Our core is our center. It's located right here. And everything flows from our core, Latasha. We want to have a nice, strong core so that everything, we're able to stand better. We're able to hold our shoulders up. We're able to walk better and feel better. Oftentimes, we're sitting in our chairs, our work chairs at home, and we kind of depend on the backrest to support us. So we're laying back or we're slumped over in the chair. These are the negative effects of utilizing a chair. You know what, Latasha? We can move that chair aside and grab that stability ball, sit down on stability ball, and there. And what this causes is you're going to engage your core muscles, pull your shoulders back, because you want to maintain your balance. You don't want to
roll over.
Also, while you're sitting here, from time to time, you can get in a little bouncing.
Okay.
It helps the lymph nodes secrete.
Okay, I love that.
Body. We're getting a little workout in it. So we're going to be more apt to get in some exercise while we're sitting on our stability ball, doing our work at our laptop.
I love it. Now, I know they come in different sizes. How do you decide which one is best for you?
Okay. Now, if you're anywhere from 5'5" to 5'9", I'm using a medium-sized ball, which is 65 centimeters. If you're shorter than 5'5", I would recommend a smaller ball, which would be, I would say, maybe 55 centimeters. Taller than 5'9", go with a 75 centimeter ball, which is your lower ball. Yes.
Okay, awesome. Now, you talked about it being able to help you strengthen your core. Is there an age limit to which point where you may have passed it where it's possible to strengthen your core? Is that something that you could do at any age? It's never too late. How does that work?
It's never too late, Latasha. Okay. Oftentimes, I hear, oh, it's too late for me. I'm just going to walk. There's no need for me to strengthen my core at this age. It's never too late. That's nonsense.
Okay, good.
Because it's going to help your back. A lot of people suffer from back problems. If you're working on strengthening your core, doing planks, utilizing a stability ball, your back is going to feel better. You're going to feel better about your posture and just your mental clarity because your posture is better. And just knowing that you have a stronger core, you'll feel better about yourself.
Awesome. I love that. And so I'm excited that the workout we're going to do is with a stability ball. So those who want to see Faye's full workout, get your stability ball, choose the right size based on your height, and you'll be able to work out with the full video. See how much fun she's having? That could be you. Grab your stability ball and we'll post the full workout. We'll post the full workout on our website. Faye has her own playlist now of all her workouts, so you can get your ball and click on the link to this workout on our website. Visit aec.org and you can work out with Faye anytime you want. And now you'll know what to do with that ball besides bounce on it, because Faye can give us all the varieties that all the things you always wanted to do but didn't know how. Faye's going to show us. So thank you so much, Faye. We appreciate you keeping us active, particularly during this time.
Welcome. Absolute pleasure. I'm so happy and humbled to help in this regard during this time.
Thank you so much. And we thank you for staying tuned. We'll be right back after this break.
All right.
All right, everyone, that wraps up tonight's episode. We're so glad that you tuned in. We're thankful to all of our guests for sharing. We want to make sure you take advantage of all of those great events we have coming up this weekend. We heard about our Youth Day on Sabbath, and then on Sunday, we have our virtual graduations. Please come join and check it all out. And don't forget to work out with Faye. Find the complete workout at visitaec.org. And after this, you're going to see what's coming up this weekend and beyond at AEC. Thanks for tuning in. Keep watching, because the more you watch, the more you know. See you next time.